Happy New Week. It's afternoon here. Good afternoon. Maria Banga, founder of the association Hope for the Abused and the Battered. Every other woman, mother. Goodness gracious. Oh my goodness. It's like some of us say, the kind of stories we hear, the kind of things we see, some of our experiences in life. Sometimes I'm like, okay, one day it will be my turn. And people will say, well, Mag don't go. No more exposure to all kinds of wahala. No more stress, no more going through all kinds of upheavals in relationships and all of that. It consoles me to know I'm just on a journey and that this world is not my home. I'm just a passerby. So I try my best. And I try my best as a mother, because I owe it to my conscience. These young guys did not ask to be born. So I don't think it's fair to have them and to ignore them or abandon them to raise themselves and those kind of things. So to be so busy about providing for them, to forget providing emotional support, to forget providing this open space, this where they can just come and talk to you, because I can tell you myself that you cannot know everything about your children. You cannot. I cannot talk about knowing about girls because I've not had any girl, right? I lost my daughter. So my sister is already a big girl. She's 17. So I can't tell you anything about baby girls. But for boys, I know you cannot know everything about them. They will tell you what they choose to tell you. And with time, they would be reducing what they are telling you. Whether we say we are best friends or not, there are some things I know now that I don't know. And sometimes I just ask, are you okay? What's going on? Everything good? And then they will say yes. And they might start a conversation or they might not. So I want to talk about grooming our sons into homosexuality. I have worked with 2 boys already who had this problem. And when I was working at the prison, New Bell prison, there were many boys there who were groomed in there or who got in there because of that. And then they just continued in there. And it's really, I don't know if I would say sad or concerning or troubling. Upfront for an adult, I mean, like myself, a 20-something-year-old man, if you tell me that's my choice, that's my sexual orientation, I cannot want to start to judge you or start to talk to you and say, no, stop, this is not good and all of those things. I have my own, not my choices are not pleasing to everybody. So on what basis am I judging another person's choices? Stuff like that. But when it's a child, and it's a child who, I don't know if people are really born that way, I've not been there, but it's a child, I mean, like every other child. And then all of a sudden this child starts walking one way, starts talking and making like that and those kind of things. Even if the child started as a little boy being interested in girly things and stuff like that, that doesn't mean that that child is going to become gay. So if you even notice that, or before you notice, you even have these kind of conversations with the child, maybe the child would be more alert to any sort of grooming. I watch High Veg, thank you so much. I watched an episode of The Standpoint. The Standpoint is this show on Ghana by this lady, Auntie Gifty. And there was this young man, I don't know, he's in his late 20s now or stuff, who said he had never slept with a woman. He had never had sex with a woman. He was groomed or initiated at the age of 8 by, what did he say? Was it 6? At the age of 6 or even 5, by his brother's because he was the last born. So his big brothers, their friends who used to come to the house, one used to take him behind the house and make him to sit on his laps and then be playing with him. And that's how one day he sodomized him. That's how we call it, sodomized him. And it was so painful on that day. And he gave him chocolate and he told him, don't cry, everything will be okay, I'll take good care of you. Indeed, that day, this boy who didn't live far from their own house took him to their house, and cleaned him up and made him to sleep there for some time before taking him back to their house, and said, oh, he just came down with a fever. And gradually, that's how this guy grew up, and found himself in secondary school. And it was like there were many people there. One of my clients, if I tell you the school he was going to, a very renowned religious institution in this city. Oh my goodness, the things are happening out here. And so this guy, by the time he was 15 in his school, I'm talking about this guy in Ghana, he was already what am I going to call it, cross-dressing, because he said he was a receiver. That's the first time for me to learn their terms. And my client also, one of them, that's what he was in their relationship, the receiver. That's the one who is being penetrated. And he loved the hugs and all of those things. And so in secondary school, he could know, he would see a boy and know if this boy can be easily convinced. He used some kind of terms, or if this one is so straight, or if this one is just normal and stuff. And he said some big people, including married men, pastors, they used to come and take some of them out, because in their boarding school, you stay there and then weekends you go home. So by the time he was in Form 4, he was already such a rebel. So instead of going home for weekends, he would go to some partners' places. And then weekends was time for him to have sex for money. And when he comes back to school with that money, if you want money from him, then you have to have sex with him. This is a boy, and I don't know if it was a same-sex school, but you can just imagine that. That was the one in Ghana. The other one was in Kenya. This one, I can still see the pain in his eyes. Like, he actually said it, that he still takes weed and he still drinks alcohol. He cannot spend a day without drinking alcohol. He's trying to let go of that, but he's not able to. He has kind of like stopped being homosexual, but there's nothing like he cannot be with a woman. He just doesn't want to be with a man anymore. So he's still trying to kind of like just get back into his body and try to, and he's in his early 30s, and he says he knows it is his mother who kind of saved him, because she was always praying, fasting, doing all of those kind of things. And his own was to the point where he went to the UAE, and there he was with the Arab men and all of those things. He was a receiver too. You even see the way he sits, is like he's afraid to sit on the chair, like his behind is already completely busted, and he was initiated by his uncle. His uncle came and took him from the village, told his parents he was taking him to Nairobi to teach him a trade, because his parents didn't have money to send him to school, and he was sick and he had already spent 3 weeks at home. And so instead of the parents struggling to see how to raise the remaining fees, he was in Form 2. His uncle said, I better let him come with me to Nairobi and learn a trade. And that's how, the very night he got to Nairobi with his uncle, the uncle had just one room and a small parlor and stuff. He said he was surprised. He was sitting there in the parlor watching TV. The uncle went and bathed. The uncle just came out from the toilet like that. And then the uncle just went to bed. And then he stayed in the parlor saying, why am I supposed to sleep? And at midnight, the uncle called him, come on, sleep. And when he went to sleep with his clothes on, the uncle said, how can you be sleeping with your clothes on? Those are the same clothes you travel the whole day with and everything. No, remove your clothes. And the poor boy removed his clothes and left his shorts on. But no, uncle will not leave him alone. And that day, his uncle dealt with him. He was in so much pain. And then the uncle had a partner. The partner came to pick up the uncle the next morning, and the partner came back to the house because he knew that boy was alone in the house, and told the boy that, well, the boy should come with him. He's going to take better care of him than the uncle. The boy didn't know that that man was the uncle's partner, and that, well, he just wanted to now start trying to be, because with the uncle he was still the receiver. So he now wanted to be giving to this boy. Some kind of sick things. I made myself to watch to the end because I said it could be my son. And I have worked with these two boys in here, and I have seen those boys in Newberry prison, and I'm like, by the time we are talking to the big ones, the adults, I saw a post about some getting married somewhere, and people were saying all kind of things. I'm like, but it's too late. What can we say now? So when they are still young, and to think that, am I even the one to tell people that little boys, that scandal, the Catholic Church, the mass servants, and all of those things, hey, the causes are too many. But I'm saying this one because I'm a mother, 3 boys. Oh no, God forbid this kind of thing happens to me. You know, one of my clients said he could not tell anybody because he was afraid, and it was a cousin. He didn't want to break up the family. What is that? Those are the same thing that girls who are raped or victims of rape are like, I didn't tell because somebody has hurt you, and then you keep your hurt because you are trying to protect family. Which family? No, me, I cannot keep that hurt. I was very foolish at that age, so I can think so, because I didn't say nothing also. But I'm teaching my boys. Let me just tell you people, you know, I like using personal experiences. I have a neighbor, and I'm even thinking about, I thought of coming live to do this video now because I was sitting here and I just saw that neighbor pass with another neighbor's child. And then as they were passing, oh my goodness, he tapped that little boy on the back. And that was one of the techniques this guy in Kenya talked about this morning. That you see people who just tap you here, tap you on the butt, and who just, you know, make like that, those kind of things. And I was like, hey, I'm going to tell my neighbor this evening about this. No, I'm going to tell my neighbor about this. Because I know her son. You know, this particular neighbor, one day I took my laptop. I have 2 laptops. There's one at home. So the children use that laptop. So I took that one. As I opened it, recent activity, I saw porn. Hey. I just first said a prayer. I was like, okay, fine. So I asked them, who used this laptop last? Gabi put up his hand. What is this I'm seeing here? I saw it in the neighbor's key, USB key. What did you take his key for? I took it to get music from his key. Wow. And instead of getting music, this is what you got from the key. Instead of getting music, is this what you got from the key? Mama was curious. Curious to know what? I don't know, Mama. I just saw people were naked. I was like, wow. And so you saw that, and then you still downloaded it onto the laptop. Mama, I'm sorry. How many times have you watched it? 3 times, Mama. Only 3 times. 3 times! I still feel like crying when I think of it today. He was 10. That was he even 10 or 9 and a half? That was 2019. And that's not the last incident in my house. So they can be doing things like that in the house. You don't even know. You can be talking, you can be having conversations, they're doing things, they don't tell you everything because, well, either they feel so embarrassed about it, they feel ashamed about it, and then they feel they're afraid because, well, one of my clients, the cousin said, if you ever tell somebody, I'm going to kill you, you know. But, and so they were 8. And 7 years later, they find themselves, they're in this school, and they're bigger guys. They just, I don't know how they know who they can approach. and then they send you to go and get the younger ones from Form 1, from Form 2. And so you people actually have those parties. The one we saw on Facebook somewhere, they also have it in those boarding schools. Hey, it's so like anywhere now. Who do you trust? How can you block the phone? Block it to what extent? This was not even from their phone. It was from a neighbor's USB key. The other one was using his iPad or tablet or phone. What are you going to do? How can I forbid them all to what point? They will go and see their neighbors, the friends that they walk around with non-stop. One time, it was my other son. He was going to video club, this place where people, instead of going to school, they go there. One day I was going for sports or what was happening. I saw some long person standing there like that. I was like, is that not David? I said, no, I'm not calling him now. Let me just go home. I went home. In the evening, I said, please come. What were you doing in that club? He could not even deny it. There was no denying. So I'm like, what are you watching like that? Why are you? Who is that? I want to know their friends' home. I want to talk to. I'm just like, sometimes I can just get paranoid trying to monitor them. I sit in this office sometimes just so that as they're coming back from school, let me see them. Let's talk about their day. Let me just look at them, look into their eyes and see if I have talked and talked. Let no teacher touch you this way. Let no teacher give you candy. No. It is not only to girls that people can do bad things. They can do bad things to boys. And oh my goodness. Okay, so this is what I wanted to share. There's so much that we parents can and should do. In the end, not only God will help we now. What else? What else? Oh, my goodness. I don't know. I know that some actually go into it deliberately for cult's sake. There was one guy, the first time I defended a guy who had abused boys, and the first and the last time, I was doing it with the Reverend sisters who were working there in the prison. They had this program, and so you don't select the files that they give you. Oh my goodness, no. I did not. I just did the case like that, but I said justice should take its course. They gave that boy what? I think 20 years. I'm like, huh? And he did it to 3 boys. Look, that was the first and the last time. I cried until I could cry no more. I was just thinking of my 3 boys. He did it for money. Small boy like that. He wanted money. He already had a store in Marché Central, and he was blah. So that was one of the conditions. But one of the little boys could not stay quiet. I think by the 3rd time he was already in so much pain and he wasn't happy, and so he told. Can you imagine? So let's encourage our children to talk to us so that they are not afraid to come and talk to us. You're not going to kill your child, even if it has been happening and then he comes and tells you. Like the guy from Ghana, it's been 4 years now. He said he hasn't slept with a man again. He's the one who has gone on standpoint to share his story and everything. So I think even if he tries to go back, they're going to consider him a sellout. I don't know how those things work. I don't know, but I'm just like, God help us. Whether it's money to get and go to where, we are all going to go. Just because you want to show off, you want to be seen. You are, was it 15? No, that guy was what? That client was what? 21? I think so. He could not be more than 21. But of course, your church people, they know, blah. And other people go into these things to look for money. I actually had a friend who went mad because they went and they got the ring from there. I saw the ring and that ring disappeared. Hey! Oh, the things I have seen in this life. I saw it. It's not like he brought it to my house. One day to my office, he had already started losing his mind. And then they were looking for him. So he felt safe. He was coming to me. He had been lost for like 3 days. And then when he came to my office, his shirt was already unbuttoned. That means that he had already lost his mind. He was coming just with shorts and an open shirt. As he was coming to my office, 2 police people were coming. As the police people just met him like that. Pap, he just made like that. Ring disappeared. I said, black magic. I said, blood of Jesus. I don't know what happened. They caught him. They took him away. He was just looking at me. I was looking at him until he went. That's the last time I've ever spoken to him. I was like, hey, ayo. That was the last time. In short, since then. Oh, God. God. And that's somebody's son. He had even told me a lie that his mother was dead. It's later that I learned that his mother was not dead. So I don't know whether it's his real mother, it's not his real mother. You know, sometimes our sons, or our kids, they run away from home, go into the street at the age of 12. I have dated a guy who lived in the street, so I know some of those street stories, right, firsthand. You know, he left maybe when he was 14. The other ones who go as early as young, thank you sis, as early as 8, you know, yeah, and they go and start living on the streets. What do you think they learn from the streets? They learn how to survive the hard way, the only way. If it's that they have to become gay, so just so that they can have money or have weed or have something. It is happening. We just have to stop pretending that it's not happening, or think that it's happening only there or with those people or those kind of things. Anywhere. Church is not safe. The Ghanaian guy, I will share that. I will share it. So on the standpoint, I will share it when I just finish now like that. I will share the Ghanaian guy and I will share the Kenyan guy. So anybody who wants to watch. I don't have any problem. I'm learning from my children. I cried this morning again and I prayed. That's why after when I dressed up, I wasn't even in the mood to be doing a picture and all of those things. Only for me to sit here and be walking and then look up and see the neighbor with my neighbor's son. And then he touched him on the back. And I'm like, why are you touching that child on the back? I didn't go out to shout, but I was like, hey, is that grooming? And then my neighbor, he's walking one kind of way. He used to come a lot to my house. And one day, I came, I saw him even in their room. I was like, what is he doing here? Oh yeah, pass. Just begin to go you. A short. As much as I'm nice, as much as I don't want to see, I don't want it. My other son, he's only going him around with his friends and stuff. I was having a conversation with him the other day. I said, you cannot be in Form 4. You're only there with your 2 friends. You mean that there's no girl in that class that you can admire, or you cannot even, it's not for anything. Just say good morning or something. Just talk. I mean, stop. So I encourage him now to be putting all his interest in his schoolwork, basketball, drawing, things like that. Yes, they do it, Goreti. They do it. They do it. They do it. I'm serious. They do it. I mean, I have seen cases. So many. Oh, my goodness. It's so sad. So sad. So sad. God really help us. God really, really help us. And I really think that as parents, as guardians, let's pray, let's talk to our children, let's do our best now, and let's not wait for them to be adults and then come out or tell us, and then we start insulting, we start saying all of those guys. It will be too late. Let's really try our best now like this. But mommy, for the hey mama, and yeah, you know, the adults who are into the courts, they come and recruit the junior ones. And they can be from any family. So we have to also tell our kids, like, I'm not even into all this. I don't know how much we can try, but I don't want me hanging around people, going for family meetings, people coming to my house. COVID has even helped us. So one person coming to the outside this time and say, no, COVID, they're outside. Why? You want to visit me for what? Let's have a video call. You don't need to come to my house. Come and do what there. Video call, anything. I must not attend funerals. I must not all those things. Nothing. If I go, nobody is there. Where's my trouble? It's really time to just stay. Give the children all the information you can. Then when they're adults, they can make the choices they want. God help us. Okay, everybody. Thanks those who joins. Stuff. God bless us all.